Welcome to I Am Living Legacy, where Black stories breathe and legacies live. I'm your host, Dr. G, and this is our soft, sacred space, a place where everyday voices hold extraordinary truth. Here, we gather the lived wisdom of our people, life lessons, joys, grief, resilience, and love, passed down through generations. In a world that has worked hard to erase our histories, this is our resistance. We remember, we speak, we carry forward. These stories are not just memories, they are maps, they are mirrors, they are medicine. So settle in, take a breath. You belong here. Welcome back to I Am Living Legacy. I'm Dr. G, and as always, thank you for choosing to spend these next few minutes with me. A few weeks have passed since Essence Fest, and I've been sitting with that experience. The music has faded, the stages have been packed away, the crowds have all returned home, but what I brought home with me didn't. I've been carrying a feeling, y'all. Not because of the concerts or the celebrities. Not even because New Orleans did what New Orleans always does so beautifully. I've been carrying the feeling of what happens when you are surrounded by reminders of who you are. And I think that's worth talking about. Everywhere I looked was us. Every shade of melanin, from rich ebony and deep mahogany to warm cocoa, caramel, honey, bronze, and golden brown. I saw locks, froze, braids, twists, fades, curls, wraps. All were crowns worn with pride. I saw families gathering, friends reconnecting, and strangers smiling at one another as if we'd known each other for years. It was a beautiful reminder that there is no one way to be Black. There is only the beautiful fullness of who we are. It was Black life celebrated. And as I reflected over the past few weeks, I realized something. That feeling leaves residue. It stays with you. It settles in your spirits. It reminds you of who you are long after the music stops. Maybe that's why I'm still smiling. Because I wasn't just attending a festival. I was with my people. And maybe that's what made the weekend so powerful. For one weekend, Blackness wasn't an exception. It was simply the norm. No explaining, no shrinking, no code switching, no apologizing, just us existing, laughing, creating, loving, and supporting. There is something deeply healing about seeing yourself reflected everywhere you turn. And that feeling has stayed with me. It also made me think, how many stories have we accepted simply because they've been repeated? Stories we've heard in classrooms, in the media, around dinner tables. Stories we've inherited without ever asking, who wrote this? Were these stories written without dignity in mind? Did they tell the whole truth? Or were we taught only one chapter and were told it was the whole book? Because if the first image that comes to your mind when you think about our Blackness is a slave ship, a plantation, or chains, I want you to pause and ask yourself why. Because that is not where our story begins. Our story begins on the African continent, the birthplace of humanity. It begins with people who observed the stars and tracked the heavens, people who measured time, built cities, developed systems of governance, advanced mathematics, practiced medicine rooted in generations of knowledge. They cultivated the land, engineered remarkable structures, created works of art, preserved wisdom through storytelling, built civilizations whose influence still echoes throughout the world. For centuries, centers of learning across Africa preserved and expanded knowledge in astronomy, mathematics, medicine, philosophy, architecture, engineering, and literature. I'll pause for a moment. Our ancestors weren't waiting to become history. Baby, they were making history. We owe ourselves and those who come after us the truth about enslavement, injustice, and oppression, but we also owe them the truth about our brilliance, our culture, and our humanity, long before those chapters were ever written. Because a story that begins with our suffering is an incomplete story. A story that overlooks our brilliance, our innovation, our curiosity, our wisdom, our humanity is a story that was never written with our dignity in mind. Don't let their incomplete stories become our complete truths. Choose the stories that restore our dignity, deepen our understanding, and remind us whose shoulders we're standing on. Embrace the fullest story, one that remembers our brilliance long before our bondage. Learn, live, and leave the whole story. Because when we remember the fullness of who we have always been, we reclaim the fullness of our entire story. And we place into the hands of the next generation something no one can ever take away. The knowledge to imagine without limits, the courage to create without apology, the wisdom to lead with purpose, and the responsibility to carry our legacy farther than we ever could. Because legacy isn't only what we leave behind, it's also what we choose to create today. Every conversation, every act of kindness, every truth we tell, every child we encourage, every story we refuse to let be forgotten, every opportunity we create for someone else to thrive, that is legacy in motion. So let's place truth into the hands of those who come after us. Let's place dignity into their hands. Let's place the fullness of our history into their hands. Let's place possibility into their hands. And then trust them to envision boldly, create courageously, lead wisely, and carry our legacy farther than we ever imagined. Because that's how legacy lives. Not only in what we leave behind, but in what we choose to build together today. Before we leave each other, here is what I hope stays with you. This conversation is a reflection on the fullness of who we are. It's about recognizing the spaces that allow us to experience our joy, our brilliance, our humanity, and our belonging. It's also about the spaces we're creating every single day in our homes, our communities, our workplaces, our schools, our places of worship, our friendships, and our families. Are we creating spaces where people can experience the fullness of who they are? Where they feel seen, heard, valued, and deeply connected? Where Black joy is welcomed, protected, celebrated, and shared? Because that's what Black joy invites us to do. To create spaces where our stories are told in their fullness, where our humanity is honored, where our children see possibilities instead of limitations, where our elders know their wisdom is treasured, where every generation understands that they belong. That's how we honor our ancestors. And that's how we prepare the next generation. Not by giving them only our struggles, not by giving them only our survival, but by giving them the fullness of their inheritance, the fullness of their story, and the freedom to imagine boldly, create courageously, and write beautiful new chapters of their own. It's about how we choose to see one another. Every person we meet is carrying a story. Some chapters are joyful, some are painful, and some are still being written. But none of us should ever be reduced to our hardest chapter. Not our ancestors, not our communities, not our families, and not ourselves. Black joy isn't pretending difficult chapters don't exist. Black joy is remembering that they were never the whole story. We are more than our disappointments, more than our mistakes, more than our losses, more than what happened to us. We are also our dreams, our laughter, our courage, our creativity, our resistance, our healing, and our love. That's the fullness of our story. And I hope we'll offer one another the grace of seeing all of it. So this week, become curious about someone's whole story. Listen a little longer. Ask one more question. Resist the temptation to believe you figured someone out because you've only read one chapter of their life. And while you're at it, offer yourself that same grace. Remember your own whole story. Celebrate your victories. Honor your scars. Treasure your joy, because every chapter has shaped who we are. Until next time, keep living your legacy. Keep creating spaces where the fullness of who we are is seen, celebrated, and shared. Keep protecting Black joy. Keep making room for one another's brilliance, humanity, and belonging. Because every conversation, every choice, every act of love, every space we create is shaping tomorrow. One day, someone will stand where we once stood. May they inherit not only our history, but the fullness of who we are. May they know Black joy. May they carry it forward with pride, and may they continue writing beautiful new chapters of their own for generations yet to come. Ashe.